Hello Makeup Void, I'm Trin and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, 2, 3, 4, I have no idea looks video, we are doing it with the Blend Bunny Cosmetics, the Longing palette. So they recently put this on sale, so that's why I picked it up, but I had my eye on this palette since it released during the summer because it's a beautiful cool tone palette. Like Blend Bunny doing cool tones, like so good. So I did have my eye on this palette since it released, but what made me pull the punch on buying the palette was the fact that it was on sale. I think normally it's $45. I got it on sale for like $33. It's not the biggest, deepest discount, but it was just a push I needed to pick this palette up. So yes, I bought it because it was on sale. We're gonna do some looks with this palette. So give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. I hope you turn on notifications. I do upload videos on Sundays, Tuesdays, or later in the week for Deca panning, or because I forgot to be prepared for the week. So let's go ahead and get rolling. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to drop the palette, and I showed you it already, but I'm going to work today, so I'm wearing green, and I could either go with this olivey column or go with kind of this minty blue column. And I did an olive kind of column with the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette, so I'm not feeling that, so we're going to go into this column right here. And we're just going to follow the rules today. I don't feel like being creative. I'm going to work today. We're going to start off with the first shade, which is called Woe. I don't have a mirror in front of me, so let's see if I can do this off to the side so you can see the eye. Yes, you can. Okay, so I think this palette was an ode to her mother, Blend Bunny's owner's mother, who passed away, which I incredibly feel that loss and grief. I know she also am going to lose my cat on my lap. Stay there, Bubby. Okay. I know she also lost her father last year as well, and I am actually filming this on the this clip on the day of my dad's birthday, who passed away in 2015. So I am feeling the vibes of this palette in terms of like the grieving and the wanting to think about your parent that you lost, and just all the grief that comes with losing a parent. I feel that entirely. So today's actually a pretty good day to use this palette in the saddest of ways. So I'm using the Sigma E38 brush, which is far too big and far too, not too fluffy, but far too big for my eye shape, but I don't really care about that. I just care about the brush quality, and per typical norm, this is good. It is pigmented, it's light, but it's pigmented. So let's go into the next shade, which is called Sorrow. And I'm going to put this a little bit, I need a different brush. That's not going to work. I need a different brush. So we're going to use this Morphe M434 brush. So it's another brush that lovely subscriber gave me. So I'm gonna do it like this. That is really freaking dark. Really dark. Like, I don't hate it, but I'm definitely gonna have to bring in more of the other shade and kind of get that brightness back, because I don't want like a super grungy look today. I swear I'm going to lose my cat. Okay, stop stretching out your legs. Stop stretching out your legs. Alright, let's go. So Sorrow doesn't look that deep in the pan, but on the eyes it's coming across really deep. And I'm not tapping out my brush like I probably should be. Okay, you're gonna make biscuits on my fluffy tummy. Okay, you do you, boo. You do you. I'm gonna do me. And I guess Moose knows I'm not in the best mood. I'm actually doing pretty good today. Wasn't sure how I'd feel on my dad's birthday, but I'm actually doing pretty good. Now, that doesn't mean shit for what the day will bring, but we'll just have to see. I don't think I'm gonna no pan left behind this palette in this video. There's just far too many shades. I mean, so if I just follow the columns, that's 6 looks, and y'all don't need to see 6 looks as following the columns of the palette. So we're not gonna no pan left behind this. Maybe tomorrow will be a little bit more creative, but for now we're just gonna keep it relatively simple. Even then, I don't want to really use the darkest column or the darkest shadow in this column. I'm gonna go back into Woe because I think it's almost gonna be too dark for me today, and I don't want to be like that depressed looking. So alrighty, I am back. Just so I don't forget, my lip, because sometimes y'all ask, is NYX Natural and then the e.l.f. Fat Drip Lip Oil in the shade That's Chic. I wanted kind of like a little bit of a berry look to complement the cool tone of the eyes. So that's what I'm doing today. For the lower lash line, I went into the grays like I said I would. So started off with Dear Diary, went in just on the outer edge, kind of like a little bit in deeper with Forlorn, nope, Dear Diary, Old Photographs, and then Heartbreak in the outer corner. And that was just so easy to do. Like, the shadows are so pigmented, but they're not overwhelmingly pigmented. Okay, the green column, like Sorrow was overwhelming. Sorrow was definitely overwhelming, but I really liked how smooth and blendable those grays were. They don't come across as black on the eyes. So they have that softness to them. I was very impressed with it. And then for the inner corner, I went into the shade All That's Left, which I would argue is the only inner corner highlight for me in this palette. So overall, first impressions, I'm very impressed with this palette. I think it's absolutely beautiful. We didn't talk about the packaging initially, maybe in the intro we will, but I mean, you can't beat this beautiful packaging. You really can't. So let's move on to the next look. Before we get going, I understand that my eye is really red. I got sunscreen in my eye. It's very irritated. So that's not the most flattering look, but that's what we're working with today. So I'm gonna do purples. I want to play with the purples today. So we're gonna start off with the shade Twist of Fate. I'm gonna pack it under my brush. I did get my big mirror out so we can do this. I think I'm gonna use a cream base today. This is very light, but it is a light shadow. So I'm going to do a cream base. I just want a little bit of a lighter blending shadow to kind of lay it out and to use as many shades in this palette as humanly possible. I will not be no pan left behind me in this palette because I straight up just don't want to, and I don't want to force myself to use eyeshadow palettes. And I feel like I am forcing it with this palette. And I did spoilers for an upcoming palette video. I did buy the Endlessly Rain Underworld palette. That's what it's called, and it's finally shipped. So I should be getting that in the next week or so, where you will be seeing it soon on my channel. I will point out from yesterday, the wear test, it blasted beautifully. The under eyes, everything on the lids, there was no creasing whatsoever. It was phenomenal. I feel like going into one of the tealy bluer shades called Bottled Up. This sort of murky blue, and we're gonna try changing things up a little bit. Actually, I feel like I wanted to do this look different and start it backwards, so I messed up here, but it doesn't really go with the purple, which is dark because it's a completely different shade, but it's fine. It is fine. We are going to try to be a little bit creative today to use more of the palette. There is like a dark grungy, I just went into the purple. So we're gonna have a little bit of a purpley moment, a little bit more purple moment. We're going with a purple base in a second, so it's fine. Everything is fine. We're just gonna do it back and forth between the blue and the purple apparently, because I just did it again. Actually, that's a really pretty color. That's actually really pretty. So let's do it on this eye. Really? I really like that. Happy accidents. So I did get staining. I literally think I said I got no staining. I did get staining. But after like waking up in the morning and cleaning my face with micellar water, the staining was completely gone. So it's not a big deal. If you're worried about staining, I would just say sleep on it, literally, because it shouldn't be there in the next morning. But also, I find that tealy blue shades do stain on me, and I don't notice other creators ever mentioning that. They always point out the red pink shadows that cause staining, and I do get staining with those colors, but I just get it a lot with teals, and I wonder if it's because I have like bluish veins in on my lids and on my face. That's maybe why. This is not even at all. This eye is like way more darker higher up. I did just go, the light purple shade is called Twist of Fade, and I did just go into that to blend everything out easily, which I do love for Blend Money mattes. They aren't they're pigmented. I'm not saying that they're not, but they're so easy to blend out. If you do get a little too intense with it, you can just take one of their lighter shades and sort of blend everything together, and it's beautiful. Okay, I like this. So we're going to go and probably to a discontinued No Budge shadow stick from e.l.f. This is called Rich Amethyst. I literally don't know which shadows sticks are discontinued and which ones are still available. They used to have a kaleidoscope of colors, and now they've really pared it down to just the neutrally ones. So I don't know if they have this beautiful purple anymore. And I don't find not staining. I don't find creasing with these shadow sticks, so I'm not worried about more shadow staining on top of it. But there is a grungy green row in this palette that I don't really think belongs. I think they could have made this palette smaller and done something a little bit different for half of the palette. I still haven't done swatches. Still haven't done them. I have not had time to do swatches, and I'm not going to do them in the dead of night. We're going to go into the purpley shadow with just my finger called Ooh. Called Love Letter. And we're going to take this and put it on top of Rich Amethyst. That's pretty. Okay. Is this my favorite shade in the palette? I haven't used nearly all the shades, but is it my favorite shade in the palette? I want to take a little bit extra dimension and go into the darkest purple shade. Hello, Moose. Come on. Come on. I'm not going to pick you up. I'm not going to. You have to do this yourself. I'm going to take a little bit of the purple shade, the deepest purple shade called Take Me Back, and gonna pack this on the outer corner. Just for a little bit extra dimension. Oh! There he is. If you're new here, this is my good boy Moose. My nose is running. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay. This is always the fun part about having a cuddly cat. About trying to balance a cat while applying eyeshadow. I'm pretty good at it. At least I think I am. But also, it's like, not, it's also not good for filming. Yes, Moose, you're a good boy. Not good for filming, but please don't land on my face. He's gonna land on my face. This is Moose. This is what he does. Get down into my lap. This is good. This is where we're gonna leave the look for now. I don't know when I'm gonna do my lower lash line. Should we go into more of the blues? I kind of want to take the silver, or kind of want to take the shadow down here. Maybe use these blues and the shade on the lower lash line. I think we're going to do that. So I'm going to do all that, do the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. Alright, the final look is done, so I'll show you what I did on the lower lash line. I pretty much did what I said. So I went in with the shade Forlorn for just the matte. Then I went in with the shade When It Rains, and that is such a beautiful, absolutely freaking beautiful, like, lower lash line color. Absolutely stunning. And then I went into the shade, the silver shade Remember, which isn't really an inner corner highlighter, but it gets the job done. It gets the job done. So for lips, just in case you're curious, I use NYX Natural, Milani, their Fetish lipstick, and then Secret, and then the Fast Chic lip oil from NYX in the shade, no, it's whatever, it's the shades that Chic, their Fat Lip Drip, something lip oil. Anyways, so final thoughts on this palette, because we're not doing another look. I really enjoy it. Now the thing is with Blend Bunny is that their formula is very predictable. It's predictable in the sense that it's easy to blend, it is pigmented, it's soft, but you get a lot of impact out of it. It's a very easy formula to use. The shimmers are smooth, they're creamy, they're so easy to blend on a finger. I know I did use a brush for the lower lash line in the inner corner. I had no issue with picking the product up on a brush to apply the shimmers. I do have that problem with some indie shadows just because they're so flaky that it's really hard to use a brush with them. I did not have that problem with these shadows. And then honestly, the favorite shadow in this palette is probably that purpley color. Is that a duochrome? I think it's a blue to purple duochrome. Oh, beautiful. Love letter. Absolutely stunning. So the reason why I'm not doing more looks with this palette is because I think I've gotten my use out of it. Not like spend $33 for 2 looks. Was that a waste of money? Yeah. But it's just easy. Blend Bunny formula is just easy to use, and I know enough. I don't have every single Blend Bunny palette, but I have enough of them to where I can comfortably say that this is a phenomenal quality palette. They have been coming out with a lot of collab palettes this year, which is for me very disappointing because I don't like purchasing collab palettes unless it's like Fancy Cosmetica, in which case I will. But so for me, that gives me grief in terms of like wanting to purchase more palettes from the brand. I am always excited for a Blend Bunny release. I am always on the pulse wanting to see what they come out with next, but it's not a brand that I personally purchase from a lot. So that is a big negative for me towards the brand in general, the fact that they're doing so many more collab products. But overall, the Longing palette is absolutely stunning. If it's still on sale, I'd recommend picking it up. I even think it's worth picking up at full price. I mean, look at the packaging. The packaging alone is absolutely stunning. So I have yet to do swatches. So I'll pop them up right now. And I don't think the swatches are going to I don't think the swatches are going to surprise me in any sense of the word. I think I know exactly what I'm getting into with this palette. So I want to thank y'all so much for watching today's video. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. You know the drill. As always, have joy and bye!